Hello, everybody. It's Garrett again. TearsToJoyMinistries.org. This video is going to be called Demons and Drugs. Starting about 6 or 7 years ago, God switched my ministry a little bit into a different direction. Now, we still talk to people who are battling sadness, loneliness, depression, lust, suicide, despair, and addictions. We still do that on a daily basis, and I don't ever want that to change. I don't ever want that to change. But starting about 6 years ago, God started using our ministry to go into demonic warfare. And we've been doing a lot more of that the last 6 years also. And I pray that God is just going to use our articles, our books, and our videos to bless people all over the world. I mean, I really, really pray that with all of my heart. This is going to be a short video about a very specific type of demonic warfare. Some of you know me, but most of you on the internet do not know me, of course. Well, I've been battling alcohol on and off for my entire adult life. Now God sets some of his children completely free from the addiction to alcohol, and that is a great, great blessing. That is a great blessing when God does that. But for some of us, the evil is allowed to come back, then God kicks it away, and then it comes back, and then God kicks it away over and over again as the years go by. And that is more like the experience I've been going through. Now, this video is going to be a short video, and it's going to be about how the demons interact when we drink alcohol or smoke weed or do crack cocaine. And this is what I want to share with you. I'm going to tell you exactly what God's been teaching me. I remember some nights when I was doing really badly. I used to live right next door to a liquor store. I mean right next door. I mean 10 feet away. Yeah, I did. And some nights or some weekends when I was doing terrible, when I was battling sadness and loneliness and depression, I would go next door and get a couple beers, and get drunk. But this is when God started teaching me something very interesting. Sometimes I would drink only half of a beer, just half, and get really, really drunk. And I remember calling one of my friends on the phone a couple different times, and he would laugh at me. He would tease me like, "Oh, Garrett, you get drunk off half of a beer," and we were joking around. He's also a Christian man. It's not very funny, but we would joke around the way that men do. And I'm telling you people the truth. I would get really drunk off half of a beer, or I would get really drunk off of one beer. And in the beginning, I had no idea what was going on. But as the years went by and the years kept going by, God is teaching me what's going on. What's going on is the second you take a sip of beer, or the second you smoke weed, the demons enter you. They enter you that second. I remember times taking the very first sip of beer and having the demons enter me. Now, when they enter you, according to God's will, they interact with the alcohol and your body and your mind. And when you're sipping your very first beer, if the demons get permission, they can supernaturally make you drunk. I don't know how they do that. I don't have that explained to me from God yet. but they can make you supernaturally drunk. So you feel completely drunk when you're drinking your very first beer. Now, I have gone through that spiritual attack probably 30 different times in my life or more. I'm talking about only 30 times that I've recognized. So there's going to be times when you fall down into addictions, when you're doing terrible, when you're in the valley of the shadow of death, but you don't drink beer, you smoke weed, or you do crack cocaine. And there's going to be times when you take your first hit of smoking weed, you're going to get really high, and you're going to be wondering, whoa, what's going on with me? What is going on with me? How is this possible? Well, now you know, and that's what this video is for. The demons are interacting with the drugs when we smoke them, or when we drink them, or when we shoot them up, or when we sniff them. And when they get permission, they're escalating the drug and making us drunk and high when we normally shouldn't be. I remember times where I had a big dinner and I would get really drunk on the very first little can of beer. So what's the point of this video? Garrett, why are you taking the time to record this? Man, I'm recording this because I love you. I love you, brothers. I love you, sisters. And I want you to know even more what the demons are doing. We got to expose this demonic warfare. We got to shine some light on it. We got to talk about it. We got to spread the word about it. And you got to know about this. That way, when you're in the valley of the shadow of death and you go buy some alcohol or some wine, or you're going to smoke weed or whatever you're going to do during your terrible nights, I want you to know that the demons are attacking us with the drugs in conjunction, making us high or getting us drunk. And I want you to know this clearly, that yes, they do this when they get permission from Jesus to do this. This is a real demonic attack. This is a real demonic strategy. And I want all of you to know that. Now, can the demons do the opposite? Yes, they can. And I've gone through that also. Sometimes during your terrible nights, you might smoke some weed, but you realize, wow, you can't really get high. Or there might be times when you're drinking beer or wine or anything else, and you can't really get drunk. I mean, you get a little bit drunk, but you can't get drunk. That's just God's grace. That is God toning down the demons. That is God toning down the drugs. That's God's grace. There have been times where I have drank a lot of beer and I couldn't get too drunk. That has happened. Now, I have not experienced that as much as the opposite. I've experienced the demons mixing with the drugs to get me far more drunk than I should be after one little beer. But I've also experienced the other side, where you're trying to get high, where you're trying to get drunk, and you can't really. And I know that most of you have experienced that too. So I want to expose this demonic warfare. I want to talk about it. And I pray that God's going to use this video to bless your demonic warfare knowledge. I pray that God is going to use this to teach you more, to show you more, and to help you to learn more about what is really going on here with these spirits and the drugs that we take. All right. I'm doing this because God loves you, and I'm doing this because I love you.